Alright, this is 3-7 continued, and these are going to be absolute value inequalities. Alright, you're going to get two types of problems today. You're either going to get the greater than problems, or you're going to get less than problems. And this can be a little bit, write this down. Write down greater than, equal to, or greater than. Rewrite as an or problem. Two equations. This will make more sense in a second. Less than or equal to, or just less than. Rewrite with the variable in the middle. So here's how this kind of works. You've got the absolute value of 8n greater than or equal to 24. When we were doing absolute value equations the other day, remember how I told you to take it out of there, write it once just the way it is, and then take it out again and write it as the opposite of? Okay. When you're dealing with a greater than or equal to, or a greater than absolute value inequality, and you've got the absolute value symbol by itself, okay? In this case, you're going to rewrite the equation as an or problem. We're going to rewrite it with two equations. Alright? So this is going to get rewritten as 8n is greater than or equal to 24, or 8n is less than or equal to negative 24. And then you solve them both. Divide by 8. N is greater than or equal to 3. Or divide by 8. N is less than or equal to negative 3. So if it's pointing to the right, absolute value is on the left, and the symbol's pointing to the right. Okay? You write it as two equations. Solve them both. You clear? Yeah. Probably. Yeah, it's probably going to tell you to graph them, so just like you've been graphing them. You got a negative 3 and a positive 3. And it's closed on both, right? Greater than or equal to 3 is out here. Less than or equal to negative 3 would be over here. So that was a greater than problem. Now, if you get a less than problem, absolute value of 5t minus 4. Please work. 16. What did I tell you to do if it was a less than problem? Okay, here's what I mean by the variable in the middle. You take whatever's in this absolute value symbol, and it goes in the middle. You do this. And then this. So you basically rewrite it exactly the way it is, just drop the absolute value symbol, right? And then add another inequality here, and the opposite of this goes here. And then you solve it twice. Or not solve it twice, but you solve it. So you would add 4 everywhere. And then divide everything by 5. Clear? You have to, yeah, they're going to tell you to graph all of these. What if the problem looks like this? Can you, which way is this pointing? It's pointing to the left. It's a less than problem, isn't it? But where's the absolute value symbol? It's on the right. So everything's kind of backwards. Agreed? So make it look like you're used to it looking. So put the c plus 7 on the left. Now, since you move this to the other side, what do you got to do to this? Yeah, you got to flip it. It's still pointing towards the 7/8. Okay? So now it's a greater than problem, isn't it? So what's your next step? Is that an or is that an in the middle? It's an or. Good. Okay? What about this? This gets Algebra 1 students almost every time. What's the first thing you got to do here? Dang, Dan. What's that? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's why it gets you every time. This? The first thing you got to do here is subtract 4. You got to subtract 4 first. And then you get -3 times the absolute value of m plus 2 is greater than -18. Now what do you got to do? That's multiplication, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you want to get the absolute value by itself. So you want to get this 3 out of here. So you want to divide each side by -3 now. So now you got your absolute value of m plus 2 is greater than, what's that, 6? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. You divided both sides by a negative, right? So you got to change the direction of the inequality. And now how do you rewrite it? As an or in the middle. Yeah, so now it's m plus 2 less than 6 there and negative 6. Okay. Questions? Page 228. One to 3, 7 to 15, 18 through 20.